Hey guys, and welcome back to the show. Joining me in the studio now is Tiffany Woods from the WORD Recovery Center. How are you doing, Tiffany?
Hi, Christia.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, your ministry, what do you do?
We are a Recover All ministry, meaning we help all those who are sexually exploited through sex trafficking, sexually abused, emotionally abused, domestic violence victims. We offer them counseling services, we offer them resources, referrals to residential services in the St. Louis area, and even referring them to out of state.
Now, when you think of human trafficking, a lot of times we think of overseas, but it's right here in our backyard. Can you give us some statistics?
It is a major issue in domestically, and specifically in the St. Louis area. We were named by the Department of Justice in the top 20.
Wow.
And that's with other major cities like Houston and Los Angeles. And the main reason is because we are an international hub. Through our airport, we are home to a lot of major trucking companies in our area. We borderline with Illinois, East St. Louis, which is considered a red light district with the clubs and things that go on over there.
So there's a lot right here
in our area.
How did you get involved with this?
My ministry started in 2009. I founded it, and it was through personal experience. I've never been a sex trafficking victim, but I am a sexual abuse survivor, as well as a domestic violence survivor. And so my ministry started out with just offering support groups and mentoring one-on-one to those women. And God has just increased and expanded that vision in the last year or so. And even in the last 6 months, He's really pulled me in this area of ministry. And the more I've researched, especially doing outreach opportunities, I'm finding that, in one sex trafficking victim, there's a lot of underlying factors.
What are some of those factors?
Most of them have experienced some sexual abuse, and this is what makes them vulnerable to traffickers. They're looking for some validation. They need someone to care about them, and a trafficker offers them a lot of false promises, such as I'll take care of you, such as I'll give you a better life. We have a lot of runaways and throwaways, a lot of kids coming out of the system.
What happens to those kids that leave the system? Is there something set up for them, to move on?
There is, but sometimes our kids once leaving the system, don't want to take advantage of that. They've spent so many years in the system, they think that they want to be free, and they want to be independent, and this is where they end up on the streets, homeless, and this is what makes them vulnerable to traffickers.
Well, now talk a little bit more about your story. How did you recover? How did you overcome domestic violence?
The grace of God, the grace of God, and finally knowing my worth, finally knowing that it's okay, first of all, to let God define love to me, because a lot of times when you grow up in an abusive home, your definition of love is defined as trauma, it's hurt.
So now you're saying sometimes a lot of women that have seen abuse as a child are susceptible to
more than 100%.
Wow.
And that's not that you don't know what's better unless you experience better first. And experience better first is God. It's God. You got to get a personal relationship with God. And once you do that, and then you begin to surround yourself with more positive people that embrace and celebrate your worth, then you begin to see that good thing about yourself, and you realize, okay, I don't need this.
Now, was this a group that helped you?
Actually, I lived in a safe house and several times in the past 10 years of my life, a domestic violence shelter. And I said, okay, God, if you get me out of this last time, because I've been in several abusive relationships. My marriage was almost 10 years. You get me out of this last time, I promise I'll live my life as a living testimony, and I'll help any and everybody, especially our young girls. Especially our young girls who suffer from low self-esteem. They may be overweight, peer pressure, and other things that lead them to getting into abusive relationships.
Well, we're going to talk a lot more about that as soon as we come back. You guys, if you don't want to go anywhere, we have a lot more to talk about with Tiffany, so stick around. We'll be right back with more STL TV Live after this.